Hey, what's up? So, tonight I decided I am going to talk a little bit about philosophy, in particular about the concept of God and why I feel it was important to have come up with the concept of God, or in particular an external God, like the God of Christianity or a God of Islam, or even like a pantheon of gods, like the Greek gods or the Hindu gods, and why that concept was important to the evolution and growth of our species. Just a quick forewarning, while I've discussed this with several friends, including a couple in particular, I'm not like super well read on the subject, so other people may have already talked way deeper on these subjects than I ever could. In fact, I'm sure many people have. But anyway, on to the subject itself. Um, so, God. First off, let's just go and describe right quickly what God is. God is a power that is far greater than yourself or than ourselves, and as I mentioned earlier, is also external to ourselves. It is oftentimes considered something that is a creator. However, it doesn't necessarily have to be in this context. Um, so to me, it was very important for us to come up with the concept of God. Without it, we would not only have not grown as fast, but we may literally be just crazy people. Like, our existential dread, which I do believe that we've had as long as we've had time, and we've had it to a stronger extent in those that didn't have to fight super hard for their own survival. Pardon that. Um, that twitch, I mean. Yeah, so the thing is, existence is pretty crazy. None of us know why we're here. None of us know who we are or where we're going in this ocean of chaos, says Timothy Leary, and it really kind of makes sense. Uh, and the thing is, because of that, we needed something, some sort of force, some sort of like power that could be greater than us, that would give our lives meaning. And most people search for that somewhere in some sort of authority figure. Before we had really thought up the concept of God, we just had other human beings as authority figures that could give us meaning in some way in our own lives. And then, of course, there were those authority figures who just had to live devoid of that meaning, or maybe if they were pretty decently hearted, they would put that meaning onto taking care of these other people. But then, after a while, we started to grow beyond that. And then people once again started to yearn for the answers of why we are here. And at that time, we came up with the concept of God, or gods, or some sort of force, some sort of society or organization that is greater than ourselves, or that anything that we see here, like in this world. And that's the primary reason why we needed to create such a almost ridiculous force, like an almost absurd kind of thing that we called God, in order to make sure that we were able to cope, essentially, with the fact that we don't have any idea what's going on. That we don't have any idea, especially beyond our own immediate lives and maybe a little bit into society. We just don't know. Now, I think it's also another major factor. It was also incredibly important to us because having a God, just like having an authority figure, gave us a direction. And a direction meant that we could move further and faster than we could if we didn't have a direction. In fact, that to me is the reason why faith is still so powerful and even so important in the world, is because it gives us a direction. It gives us a place to go, and therefore it gives us a connection to something that is beyond ourselves, and the energy that goes along with essentially punching through your target. It's the same kind of concept. You know, in martial arts, they teach you to punch through your target rather than to actually just punch the target. You want to see the target as not even there and instead see 6 inches behind that target. That's where you're going for. And whenever you do that, you can just blow right through whatever your obstacles are. The same kind of thing happens to human beings psychologically. With that, we are able to just push directly through whatever bullshit is thrown in our way in order to accomplish some greater task, to reach some greater sense of well-being and some greater strength and energy. And so these things are, to me anyway, why the concept of God, while it may not be so useful today, was absolutely imperative to the growth of the human species. And as such, it's not something that we should just throw away like it's nothing. We should instead, even if we throw it away, we should throw it away with reverence to the power and the necessity of the concept of God. Anyway, that's it. Hope somebody got something out of this. Hope you learned a little bit or just thought it was interesting. If you have any sort of thing you want to talk about, go ahead and leave a comment below. Or if you'd like to, go ahead and make a video response. And I would love to make a response back. I know my friend Elijah had offered to do that, so yep, I'm talking to you. Alright, peace out guys.